G'day, folks. So now that Game of Thrones is over, it's left a big void in our TV show watching schedule, and we had to fill it with a new show that we'd like to, deconstruct and enjoy watching together. So we were looking, and I thought, how about Stranger Things? We're both children of the 80s, and that show seemed, from the trailers I've seen and the imagery and that, it looked like, it captured the feel of the 80s, so I thought we'd give it a go. So we're about 3 episodes in, and our initial thoughts are... What are your initial thoughts?
It terrifies me. I have had 3 sleepless nights, and the times that I do actually fall asleep, I just have constant nightmares. I have honestly never been so scared in my entire life. We'll be sitting there at night, and we'll be halfway through an episode, and I'll start seeing shadows move in the corner of my eye, and my heart's racing, and I'm literally on the edge of my seat going, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? I can't deal with this. I have to cover my eyes. It is so suspenseful.
Now this...
I can't.
This is a testament to how good the show is made. It's super tense, very suspenseful. The mood and atmosphere is fantastic. It captures the feel of the 80s.
Yes.
I feel like they've put a filter on the camera too. I don't know if my brain's telling me that there's film grain just because it looks like the 80s, or if there actually is film grain, but it looks and feels like the 80s.
Yes.
And the characters are great. You're sucked in, and you empathize and really feel for them from the beginning. Whether it's all the kids are great. The kids are brilliant actors, all of them. Especially the standout is that little girl who plays 11.
She's amazing.
She is an amazing actress. Unbelievable. Like, you can feel pain in her eyes. I don't know how a kid captures that. I hope it's not from actual trauma in her real life, because she seems like a sweet kid. I hope she's just an amazing, really good at faking it, because I wouldn't wish that upon any child. But
I've got goosebumps just like right now, just thinking about her acting.
Yeah,
she's incredible.
She's that good. And the kids who play the boys, so natural. I mean, the script is amazing, unless it's all just ad-libbed. It feels real. They feel like real kids, how we used to talk as kids, and the stuff we'd come up with. And I can relate to them being, using their imagination a lot, Dungeons and Dragons and all that, even though I never played that. I used to like Warhammer a lot, and the lore of Warhammer and all that. So I can really relate with these children, and it takes me right back to my childhood. And even though I didn't grow up in 1983, I wasn't even born yet. My memories are from probably about 10 years after that, but it still had a lot of the same feel and culture going around in the West at the time. And there's like no political correctness in it, because at that time period there wasn't any, so that's a breath of fresh air.
Well, there's no need for it to be in there, and the fact that they're not putting it in makes it different from everything else that we're seeing.
And it would be so forced if it was in there, because that just wasn't.
It doesn't need to be.
No one pushed all that bullshit back then. And if they did, they were such a fringe, no one listened to them at all. And the guy who plays Hopper, David Harbour, who plays the cop, he's fantastic. He's fantastic. Like, I've seen him in 1 or 2 movies before, and he always has a strong screen presence because he's such a big, imposing guy. But in this, man, he really he plays it. He plays it subdued, but you can feel like there's a lot of emotion under the surface.
Yes.
Like he's got a lot of. He has darkness in him, not as in like he's a bad guy, but like I think from what he's seen and what he's experienced, I think he's lost a child.
Yes.
And you can see it's in there. It's welling under the surface. Like, he wants to go on a crusade to save children. I can just feel it. And so I'm very sympathizing with his character too. The parents, for the most part, like, we're not far into it, so the parents don't really know what's going on yet. But Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder. Now,
wow.
I love Winona Ryder. I mean,
I don't.
I
do now.
I do. She does now as an actress, but I always had a crush on her as a kid. She stole my heart in that. What's that song called? The Cher song, the Shoop Shoop song.
Yeah, that.
That song where she's with Christina Ricci as well. as a kid, I used to watch that, in the mornings on the video hits show in Australia, and oh yeah, her and Christina Ricci stole my heart. And I was younger than both of them, all right, so it's not creepy.
All right, yeah, go on.
And anyway, Winona, man, she is amazing in this.
Yes.
Who would have thought? Would you ever imagine Winona Ryder as a mother, as like a stressed out, grieving mother? No, but man, she sells it.
Yeah, her scenes are unbearable to watch. Honestly, like just seeing her spiral into this kind of what looks like madness to everybody else, but
she knows she's right.
Yes.
And no one else believes her. Even her own son doesn't believe her yet. But I think he'll come around. Oh, the boy who plays the older brother too, Will's older brother, Jonathan Byers. He's an amazing actress too.
Great, yeah.
Like he looks a bit like Theon Greyjoy with an 80s haircut, but man, he plays a concerned brother really well. And that's the other thing about the characters. They're not assholes. Like the kids, like there are assholes at the school, characters, bullies and that. But the main kids and the brother, I really feel for him because he's such a loving big brother. And a lot of times you see these cynical movies where the big brother hates his little brother and he's mean and horrible to him. In this one, he's like a really loving, protective big brother. And it's really nice to see. And the other kids are like really care about their friend and are out there risking their lives in the dark, sneaking out to try and hunt down the bad. And even though they know there are bad men out there who could kill them and monsters, they still want to go out there to save their kid. They're brave and courageous kids.
They're braver than I am.
It just makes you love the kids. You love 11, that little girl. You love the kid who played Will Byers, even though we didn't get much time with him. He seemed like a sweet, nice kid too, that you want them to find him. So the show has hooked me. I'm hooked. You hooked?
Oh, I am hooked. I want to stop watching it. I think we just need to stop watching it late at night because
she wanted to stop watching it during episode 3 because she was so spooked about it. But that's a testament to the show. Yeah. That's a testament to the show. Yes. It's got a great atmosphere, great mood to it. I can't wait to find out what happens next. Now, we're not going to review each episode. We're going to do a final review of each season, and hopefully we can be done in time to start reviewing each individual episode for season 3, which starts in July, I believe. So we've got a month to go. We'll see how we go. We have to try and fit it in because it doesn't come, it doesn't take precedent. Our TV watching always comes after, everything else. The more important things in life are done first. So always remember that, folks. Precedent. No, well, I have to make sure I'm disciplined when it comes to that. So it's easy to forget and to put TV watching before the things that matter, like family, because that always comes first. And this show reminds you of that because you see families there that do love each other and some that are broken, and it's a shame. So anyway, I'll leave it there before I get to sappy or soppy. I can't remember what the correct word is. Is it soppy or sappy?
Oh, I can. Whatever.
You know what I mean,
haven't had
folks.
A coffee yet.
Me neither, but we will soon. All right, folks, we'll leave it there. It's a great show. If you've never watched it, you can, it's ready to be binged now because there's 2 whole seasons to watch. But it's a great show. We highly recommend it, and can't wait to watch episode 4. If
you're in the mood for a nightmare, definitely watch it.
Yeah. If you're easily scared, warning. The show, it doesn't bother me. I've watched 1 billion horror movies. I'm desensitized, but the wife, it's really
no. Well, I love the fact that they don't show much.
Yes,
that's what's making it.
Yes.
So
it's bucking the trend of horror, and it doesn't have stupid jump scares every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's building the tension, and it's earning its startles. It's earning its scares. It's earning its horror. Absolutely. It's not showing the creatures or not revealing too much too soon. It's leaving mystery.
Yes.
And mystery.
Which makes it even more.
Yes, mystery builds suspense.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we talk for an hour, we'll leave it there, folks. Go check out the show, and please like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments if you are so inclined. God bless you all, and
We'll see you later.
adios, muchachos.